Hey there, my name is Ian O'Donnell and this is my 2011 Nissan Cube that I'm currently turning into a camper car. I just finished my bed design and I'm pretty excited about it. But I also went ahead and strapped the kayak on and my bike just to see what that would look like. I'm gonna have to probably work with the kayak situation a bit. It's making me nervous, but you get the idea. So let's hop in and take a look at this bed design. So here it is. This is the bed. I'm probably actually gonna cut it into a few different pieces to make it easier to convert it back and forth between being a front seat and an actual bed. But for now, I'm just gonna scoot it to the side and I'll show you how this whole situation works. So if I wanna convert this back and forth, all I gotta do is flip it up, like so. And then it lays down perfectly this way. And then pull the seat up. And there you go. And it's back in bed position. Alright, so that's the nickel tour of the bed in this little car camper. I'm gonna go back in time now and show kind of how this whole thing came to be. I had to take the back seat out to start with, and then build the frame and how I got it bolted down and all that jazz. So here we go, back in time. I've been reading up online on how to take the back seats out of the Nissan Cube. It's all one giant seat and I think there's only 4 bolts I actually have to take out. I found 2 of them, but the other 2, I know where they are, they're just a little tricky to get to, so let's take a look. So if I move the seats forward all the way, you can see where the first 2 bolts are. Right there and right there. I said first 2, these are actually the last 2 you take out. And then let me show you where the other 2 are that are a little bit more difficult to get to. These 2 little plastic guards right here cover the first 2 bolts you're supposed to take off. For the life of me, I can't really figure out how you're supposed to take it off. Someone was saying you pull to the side, like it doesn't really want to lift up or come straight back. I don't know. I guess if I break it, it isn't that big of a deal. Hang on. Got it. When you reach up under, you have to pull this kind of to the side. So you're grabbing it and pulling it that way, and then same on the other side. Yeah, there we go. Sweet. So I think I need a 16 for the 2 on the front and an 18 for the 2 on the back. And then should be able to just take this thing out. I don't know. I'm just trying to visualize how I want to do this. I want this to be able to fold back so that I can set my seat back up, but I don't really know how I'm going to actually support the bed, like, because thered be a hinge here, and I don't really have a way to get anything under it. This is starting to look like some janky construction that I would make. I love it. Alright, it's starting to come together. This dude over here, he's buying a foam board insulation. I have no doubt in my mind that that bus is going to be a camper. I think it's safe to say he has a little more room to work with than I do, but that's okay. We're going to have fun with this. So they didn't have this at Home Depot. I had to stop at this tiny little hardware store. But these are the bolts that I took out of the back seat to take the back seat out. The holes are still in the floor, and so I wanted to try and bolt a board down to where the seat was bolted down to kind of hold it in place. But I needed a longer bolt, and so I have 2. So this will be what kind of holds the bed and the main platform in the back all down into the chassis of the vehicle. It should kind of hold in by resistance for the most part, but you know, if I get into a car crash, I don't want everything to come up into the front of the vehicle. So this should help. It'll also just keep it sturdier in general. I'm sure like I'm always doing stuff that make real carpenters cringe when I'm building stuff on this channel. It's kind of difficult because this back floor is relatively level, but I think it kind of sloped down to the sides a little bit. It's hard to tell. So getting precise measurements is really difficult. At least I had a relatively flat surface to work with in the minivan, or at least I did after I laid down the floor. This has been kind of tricky, building onto all these different grooves and whatnot. But you know, it's working out fine. It's just something to figure out, I guess. I'm making this a lot more complicated than I need to be. I could just make a bed that I could just set over the passenger seat and then take in and out. I could just make it out of like PVC pipe or something really simple, but you know, gotta make it extra for YouTube. Alright, that made it permanent. I think it might be a little bit this way, just a little. Do you can you kind of see, if you look down the center, it looks like it's a little off to the left, to the right?
I see what you're saying.
I don't think it's bad. It's not a big deal. I need to go over to Home Depot, I think, and get a few more.
Get your stuff.
Get some brackets and stuff.
That looks good, man.
It's getting there.
Yeah, I think it does. Alright, but you got that option.
Yeah, it'd be nice to have the option. That's kind of what I'm thinking. These are expensive.
Yeah.
How many you think? Maybe 3 ounces.
Yeah, the 16 gauge it says.
Well, it's holding my weight, so that's good. I'm a little nervous though. I'll probably get onto the bed from the driver's seat most of the time. So this will also have hinges on it like everything else in this build. It'll just flip open like this so that I can get into the storage space down here. Pretty straightforward stuff. Thanks for watching this video, guys. Full disclosure, I kind of stole this whole bed design idea from a lady named Tracey who posted the only video I can really find on YouTube about a camper cube. I'll have a link for her video down in the description. She didn't really share any like proper dimensions of like what she was doing and how she made it work. My design is like a similar concept. It's not an exact copy because I don't know what she really did. I knew I wanted to be able to convert my bed so that I could still set my seat back up. I just didn't know the best way to do it. Anyway, she had a couple of really smart ideas on how to make that work. So I appreciate her putting that knowledge out there. Like I said, I have some things to think about. I may end up having to get a roof rack to make the whole kayak situation work. And I've thought about doing a solar panel, and if that's the case, I'd probably have to have the roof rack because with the kayak sitting flat on top, it's like taking up way too much room to have a solar panel up there as well. I also haven't decided what I'm going to do on the inside, like on the other side where all the storage would be. I know I want to build some cabinets and some things like that to store stuff, but I just haven't decided how I'm going to do that yet. I've just been laser focused on finishing the bed right now. Overall, I'm pretty happy with the bed. I guess my only concern is the plywood I used for like the top of it is a little thin. I know I made this mistake with the van. I used 1/4 inch on the van, and this one I used 1/2 inch. I thought, oh, that would be better, but it's still a little thin. So worst case scenario, I may have to just replace it in the future. But anyways, I'm happy with it though so far. So thanks again for watching, guys. I really appreciate everyone hanging around and watching all this craziness I'm doing. I have a couple of trips planned in the future, so we'll get to see this guy in action, and I'll of course keep putting out video updates on the build as we go. So I will see you guys in the next one.